advances in technology, today greater emphasis is placed on fire safety in all means of transportation, at sports and entertainment venues, in all aspects of our daily lives. Experts agree that 70% or more of all deaths in a fire are due to smoke inhalation by toxic smoke like carbon monoxide, cyanide, and many other toxic gases and dust. Medical experts all agree that within the first 2 or 3 minutes of breathing toxic smoke or dust that you may suffer from shock or even cardiac arrest. Fighting fires with fire extinguishers can be deadly if you are not prepared with the proper breathing devices. We have the products to supply up to 90 minutes of filtered or supplied air, so you may escape or await emergency rescue. For over 40 years, we have been specializing in fire control, fire rescue equipment, chemical and biological and gas rescue equipment, fire retardant material, coal mine safety rescue equipment, and watercraft rescue equipment, with over 30 SKUs of safety products. On the Earth, we breathe about 21% oxygen and 78% nitrogen. You may currently have a filtered product, a Safescape smoke hood, but all filtered devices, no matter who the manufacturer is, whether it's Strager, 3M, MSA, Sunstrom, or even ourselves, require a minimum of 19% oxygen present in the atmosphere, or they will fail. That's why when firemen go in to a burning building, they always wear supplied air through an SCBA, a self-contained breathing apparatus with a big tank on the back, giving them 30 or possibly even as many as 45 minutes of breathable air, depending on the size of the tank that they're wearing. The simple fact is this, is that fire consumes oxygen, and if there's no oxygen, we as humans cannot breathe. 3 minutes without air, and we as humans will die. It's a medical fact, and that's why firemen, when they go in to fight a fire, need supplied air. In the atmosphere alone, there are all different types of toxins. Carbon monoxide, hydrogen chloride, ammonia, benzene, sulfur dioxide, formaldehyde, hydrogen cyanide. There's all different types. In fact, when wood burns, there's about 200 different kinds of chemicals being released into the atmosphere. Even the CDC, the Center for Disease Control, have done numerous studies and found that, as you see in the chart presented before you, you'll see in yellow 12,000 parts per million, death within 1 to 3 minutes, 400 parts per million, frontal headaches within 1 hour, 1 to 2 hours, nausea, convulsions, death within 2 hours. And if you see in the red there, it says 50 parts per million is the maximum average level for continuous exposure in an 8-hour workday per U.S. federal law. And yet, you'll see at the very bottom there, 9 to 12 parts per million is the concentration often measured around busy city streets and intersections. So for you joggers out there who are running along the side of the road, okay, and breathing in all the carbon monoxide, you are killing yourself. For you out there who think wearing these masks when jogging is going to protect you from the toxic smoke and the pollutants in the air, you're sadly mistaken, because those masks that you're wearing are only containing carbon filter. Carbon filters will not scrub out carbon monoxide. Think just because of the name carbon it's going to scrub it out? You're wrong. You have to use hopgalite, which has been used by firemen in filters for fighting fires and everything for over 100 years. Our China facility of over 30,000 square meters manufactures a comprehensive range of safety equipment and material for your protection. We are ISO 9000 and CCC certified. Our professional engineering team, coupled with our modern facilities, provide the latest fire, smoke, and toxic gas protection technologies to world governments, military, fire, first responders, rescue authorities, and individuals. It is our responsibility to provide the highest level of quality life-saving equipment to everyone worldwide. Our highly professional R&D team, coupled with our modern in-house testing laboratory, gives us the edge by providing multiple levels of quality control and testing throughout the manufacturing process. Our Safescape smoke hoods have been tested at North Carolina State University on their Pyroman, used to test all fabrics and materials worn by U.S. government and military personnel against flammability. In our smoke hoods, they exceed the standard by 50%. That's the NFPA 2112 standard, and we exceed the standard by 50%. We also exceed all other international standards, including Wheelmark, IMO, SOLAS, the European CE standard, and we manufacture on an average of 5,000 to 8,000 units daily to meet your needs in an emergency. Ranked #1 in China, we now have a worldwide network of distribution. Our products are used by the CNSA, the Chinese National Space Authority. All manned spaceflight now have our products actually on board each spacecraft to be used in cases of emergency. We have received a written endorsement from the CNSA and the Astronaut Center of China, NASA, Shell Oil, BP Exploration, Federal Express, Shangri-La Hotels, the NBA, United Nations, the United States Air Force, and thousands of others now use our products. We're going to look at the Grenfell Tower disaster, June 14, 2017, in the London, UK area. This apartment building was doomed from the very beginning, simply because they didn't take proper measures in order to protect the inhabitants by giving them proper breathing apparatus in case of a fire and toxic smoke. The reality is, if you listen to the video that was recently released by Sky News, that they say within 45 minutes they could evacuate the building. Well, 3 minutes without air, we as humans will die. In fact, on 9/11, there were over 1,000 Firescape smoke hoods in each of the Twin Towers, but didn't save anyone's life. The reason why? Simply because they were only good for 15 minutes. Now, this is simple math, this is logical, but if you can get the people out of the building in 45 minutes, and you've only got 15-minute smoke hoods, guess what? You don't have enough time. People are going to die. Listen and learn.
Heavily criticised in a series of expert reports released on the first day of the public inquiry's evidence sessions. Chartered fire engineer Dr. Barbara Lane wrote that the policy had effectively failed barely half an hour after the fire started. Her analysis is one of 5 expert reports published today. They look at the facts of what happened in the early hours of the 14th of June last year. Some other key findings contained in those documents are the external spread of the fire, leading to total failure of that stay-put policy. Poorly performing fire doors contributed significantly to the spread of smoke and fire. And the fire brigade could not control the tower's lift, and that meant delays accessing the source of the fire.
And the resulting internal spread of fire and smoke, this meant there was a total failure of the principles of stay put. It rendered the stay put strategy unfit for purpose before 26 minutes past 1. And she goes on to say that really the safety window for people getting out of that building, instead of being told, stay in your flat, that's the safest place, because this building was so dangerous, to be safe, everyone should have been out of that building 45 minutes after the first 999 call, which was just before 1 o'clock on the 14th of June last year. Now,
did you listen to what this gentleman, who they say are experts, that they should have been able to evacuate the building within 45 minutes? 3 minutes without air, you're dead. Are you prepared? Believe me, there are companies worldwide that are prepared. Federal Express, the NBA, these people already have our products that provide either 30 or 60 minutes of breathable air. Anything up to the 20th floor, we will provide only 30 minutes. Above the 20th floor, only 60 minutes of protection. In fact, we're the only company that actually provide a smoke hood for children ages 5 to 12 as well, that gives you 30 minutes of breathable air. Listen and learn.
This training tower behind me is where the Monarch Fire Department practices different fire scenarios. Fires cause smoke and poisonous gases like cyanide, which quickly numb the senses. People who are trapped in a fire quickly become disoriented and confused, and that can hamper their escape.
One of the first things that's going to happen is panic. They're going to become very scared, and that's going to overwhelm a lot of times any reasoning ability.
And that's where a fire escape hood could be a lifesaver. But do they work? Jeff Locker, the Monarch Fire Department, helped us test the fire escape hood inside this training tower.
My initial reaction was it fits surprisingly well. I was surprised for something that is not fire service oriented to fit as well as it does. It fits quite similar to the mask that we use.
Locker entered this room in the training tower, which quickly filled with smoke. After 5 minutes, I checked in with him.
How you doing so far?
Doing good. Yeah, these things work real well.
10 more minutes passed, which means Blocker has been inside this smoky room for 15 minutes. He gave the mask 2 thumbs up.
Jeff, you spent 15 minutes in a smoky room with that mask on. Give us your final critique.
I thought it held up real well. Didn't seem to have any problems with it. You had a real good smoky environment in there. Didn't notice any problems with any real bad leaking. Seemed to hold up real well.
The smoke Jeff Blocker breathed for 15 minutes was non-toxic, similar to the smoke used in movies or on the stage.
He still would have been able to smell if there was any leaks in the mask, or if the filter wasn't working. That smell should have been coming through, and he would have known if it was leaking.
So that was a fair test?
I think so.
The smoke detector warns us for what's going to actually save us in a situation where there's a fire and there's a smoke.
Be aware that there's a lot of cheap product that's on the marketplace. We show here the difference between the made for China and our ASE-30, ASE-60, which is made for export only and meets all the international standards. If you look on here, they only have a 3-year shelf life. They don't have a 6-year shelf life as our export product does on the ASE-30, ASE-60. They also tested these fake products, which also were letting through lethal amounts of carbon monoxide up to 1,000 ppm, which is lethal to any person who is wearing it. Also, they're not even treated properly and they'll catch on fire as shown here. So buyer beware when you buy made for China products. You are accepting the liability if they fail. Our Purify Air 30M and 60M uses the same filter technology as our ASE-30 and ASE-60 smoke hoods, protecting you from carbon monoxide, chlorine, cyanide, and other toxins, dust, and hot falling ash. The major differences are that the Purify Air hood material is made from a special cotton-lined PVC non-irritating tube, where providing 1600 C, 3000 degrees Fahrenheit of direct flame protection compared to only 1000 C or 2000 degrees Fahrenheit in our ASE-30 and ASE-60. The Purify Air hood is oversized to allow for long hair or beards and has no stitches in the seams anywhere on the hood, including the visor, providing 100% protection against any possible leakage, as this hood also has silicone rubber neckband to again ensure that there are no leakages possible. Available in a hard and soft case, we also offer the product in a safety kit configuration, which includes a pair of fire-resistant gloves, stainless steel whistle, and a pack of 6-inch glow sticks, providing up to 12 hours of light in cases of emergency, or even with a Firescape suit also rated at 1600 C, which exceeds the NFPA 2112 standard by 50%. As we are a factory, we are able to customize safety kits to meet your specific requirements. Our ASE-30BR and ASE-60BR CHEM-BIO gas Firescape smoke hood these days is our most popular product due to its capabilities of protection against all known toxic agents, whether they be phosgene gas, tear gas, Ebola, COVID, ammonia, sulfur dioxide, SO2, hydrogen sulfide, H2S, carbon monoxide, chlorine gas, or any one of 1,000 different toxic agents that may occur in an emergency. These units are used by first responders, firefighters, military, law enforcement, oil, gas, and chemical facilities worldwide. Also available in our soft case safety kit configuration, or able to be customized to meet your requirements. With all of our products, we are the only company that provides a free one-time replacement warranty. Yes, that's right. If you use it at any time during the shelf life, we will replace it for free. For our conditions that apply, speak with your distributor for those details. We also supply, with orders of 100 units or more, free training unit, free how to use video USB cards, and free how to use A4 size laminated instruction sheets with your order. You might say, well, Draeger, MSA, they offer 10, 12, or even 16-year shelf life. Let me ask you this question. If I gave you a pair of underwear that was 16 years old, would you put them on and wear them? 99 out of 100 people I have asked the same question to have said emphatically, no way. So why would you trust a life-saving device that was that old to function properly? In fact, I have had customers who spoke to Draeger, and Draeger have said one should just buy a new unit after 8 years. If you use the hood and filter in an emergency, why would you put a contaminated hood on your head with a clean filter? It doesn't make any sense, does it? No one else will give you a free replacement if used. We value life and our customers. We want to ensure your protection, giving you the freshest product perform as intended. We are the only company providing a free replacement if used at any time during the shelf life. Many new technologies were introduced during World War I. One was the introduction of the rebreather, used on German U-boat submarines. This product used a chemical known as KO2, potassium superoxide, that when reacted with our exhaled carbon dioxide actually created breathable air, 70% 78% nitrogen and 21% oxygen. The same as what sustains our lives here on planet Earth. Have you ever flown on a plane? Have you ever read the emergency safety cards? Look closely the next time you fly. They most always indicate what you are to do in case of smoke in the cabin. All on the floor to the nearest exit. Well, that is impossible at 35,000 feet. You open the door, decompress the plane, and everyone dies immediately. The next time you fly, look next to the fire extinguisher. You will see a smoke hood logo. They use the same KO2, yet are only good for 15 minutes and cost upwards of $1,000 each, used only by the flight crew. You have nothing. Oxygen masks do not come down and provide any oxygen until the plane reaches a safe altitude under 14,000 feet, when they can then vent the plane. So you have only seconds to get to that level from 35,000 feet. Why? Because remember this medical fact: 3 minutes no air, and we as humans will die. Our AEBD will provide 30 or 60 minutes minimum of supplied air for those who are active, up to 90 minutes if passive. A closed system like an SCBA, worn by firemen. Our unit weighs less than 1.5 kg, or about 3 pounds. Recently tested at the Israeli Maritime Training Authority by myself at 68 years of age, walking into a toxic smoke-filled room with blazing fire and 2 firemen wearing SCBAs. After over 20 minutes inside, one fireman decided to put it on and went back in using the same 60-minute EEBD for an additional 10 to 15 minutes without any difficulty. These units have been tested by myself personally in the USA, Israel, Vietnam, the Philippines, Qatar, India, and many other countries throughout the world. They work. Otherwise, I would already be dead from the toxic smoke I have been subjected to. Also available in a safety kit configuration, as well as in a soft case bag with a shoulder strap and handle, or optional handle and belt loop with a minimum order of 500 pieces. We are looking forward to working together with you, saving lives.